Hi, my name is Abigail Nyblack, and this is my Algebra End of the Year function project. So, this is the first parent function, which is f in parentheses equals x, and this parent function is actually a linear function. And here I have the table, and I have it graphed. On to the next one. Here we have an absolute value function, which the equation would look like this. F in parentheses x equals x in absolute value form. And here is the table and how I graphed it. Now these are the two functions that I chose to demonstrate my transformations. I chose this one, which was a quadratic function, and this one, which is a cubic function. This is an example of a quadratic function, which would be f in parentheses x equals x to the second power. This is a cubic example of a cubic function, or this is the parent function for it. And this is f in parentheses x equals x cubed. And this is the table. That's the table. Cool. Okay, let's start with quadratics. Or quadratic functions. So this is the parent function. And here I have one function here, one function here, another function here, another function here, and another function here. And here is what I'll do to mark which one is the parent function. So the one right here is our actual parent function. Now as you can see, most of these look actually all of these look completely different to oops, just realized these two are upside down. Anyway, these all look completely different to its parent function, and I'll tell you why. Let's start with this one right here. This is right next to the parent function. So the difference is, looking at these two, that this is lower than this one. This starts at negative 1. And the reason why this looks different is because in the equation it has x to the second power minus 1. And I'll tell you why this is. Now the parent function is f in parentheses x equals x to the second power. This also has x to the second power, but it's minus 1. So your y-intercept where it starts right here it starts at negative 1. Okay, let's cancel this one out since I'm done with this. Now let's go from this one and this one. And you can obviously see that they look completely different. When I graphed this, I thought this was slap crazy. So this is the difference between the two. So for each of my, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but for each of my quadratic functions, my transformations, I wrote down my parent function so that you could see the difference. This is 1 divided by x to the second power. So it makes the graph very, very, very steep. And not only that, it's going the other way around. It's going, well, let's say this is right side up, and I'll say this is upside down. Okay, cool. On to the next one. I'll bring this one over here. Now, this one the parent function's right here. And you see, just like this one over here, this had -1. Now this one has +1. So where did the how did the y-intercept change? It changed by going up 1 and starting at 1 instead of starting at 0, and instead of starting at -1. Okay, cool. Oops, on to the next. Now this is -x⁻². So this one is going down because it's negative. So the transformation is that it's going upside down. And the reason why is because of the negative right here. And this one is the exact same thing as the previous one. Okay, let's go on to cubic functions. Here is my parent function. I'll put one right here, put one right here, oops, put one right here, and put one right here. Now, actually, I might just go like that. Okay, let's start off like with these two as I did before. So you can see that this parent function is a cubic function. Here's the table. There's a table. There's the graph, and there's my equation as I shown before. The difference, like, well, maybe I should point out this too. I wrote my parent function down so I wouldn't have to look at the other one. So this is my parent function, and the transformation is that we -2. So right here where it meets in our y-axis, it starts at -2 because it's -2 or -2. So there you go. That's the transformation. This one too. Okay. So now here's the crazy one about this one. So it says +1, so you know it's going to start at 1. And then there's -x³, so it's going the opposite way because there's a negative. And it starts at a different point. So that's your transformation for that one. Okay, next. Your transformation for this one is just that it's negative, so basically it's just like this one. So it's starting at the same place, except it's just going the other way. Okay, cool. Now this one. This is like why am I lost? I know what I'm doing. Anyway, this one is the same thing like this, except it's starting at the 2 because you have +2 right here, so that changes it to that. So the difference is basically it's higher up and it's starting at 2. Okay, cool. So that is pretty much my project all done. That's basically it. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm done. Bye.